The open arms are the transverse processes of the cervical vertebrae. There are anterior, middle, and posterior scalene muscles. The anterior scalene muscle connects to the anterior tubercles of the transverse processes of the third to sixth cervical vertebrae, while the middle scalene muscle connects to the posterior tubercles of the transverse processes of the second to seventh cervical vertebrae. They both attach to the first rib. These are the transverse processes of the cervical vertebrae. You hold onto them, then grows forward and inward as the anterior scalene muscle, and slightly outward as the middle scalene muscle. They both attach to the first rib. Actually, it's just like this. In this state, if it becomes tense, it will be like this. If it pinches the nerve, it will cause numbness, and if it pinches the artery, your blood circulation will be poor and your strength will decrease. That's how it is. So, when the scalene muscles become tense and pinch the brachial plexus, it results in numbness in the hand, which is simply referred to as numb arm. Yes, referring to the arm, and then, regarding the so-called sciatic nerve compression, whether it's compressed by the lower bundle of the gluteus maximus, or the long head of the biceps femoris, or in a very small number of cases, by the piriformis muscle, it results in leg numbness, which is simply referred to as numb leg. So whether it's numbness in the arm or the leg, you need to know where the compression is occurring. However, in most cases, 99% of the time, since you work in a hospital, right? You will encounter many people with arm numbness due to brachial plexus compression caused by a narrowed scalene gap. Isn't it all about loosening and tightening, right? Because I have visited over 100 hospitals in the country, and 99% of them directly perform decompression for such patients. But in reality, since they are already hospitalized and have cervical spine issues, I can tell you now, based on my over 20 years of experience, I can tell you, even though they are inpatients, and even though the scalene muscles are tense and compressing the brachial plexus, however, in such patients, the tension caused by weakness is many times greater than that caused by simple tension. To summarize briefly, even for hospitalized patients, their scalene muscles need much more strengthening than they need relaxation.
Can you get it?
Okay, so when you go back, just don't excessively decompress the scalene muscles of these patients. Don't say that Teacher Andy said nerves are not affected by compression. Teacher Andy didn't say nerves aren't affected by compression. Nerves are like this. Nerve compression doesn't directly cause pain. I didn't say brachial plexus nerve compression would cause hand pain. I just said that nerve compression can cause numbness. Can you understand? It doesn't have a direct relationship with pain. However, if the nerve is compressed for a long time, it is more likely to cause a chemical reaction, but it is not directly linked to pain. For example, if you squat for a long time, whether you're playing with building blocks or doing something else, if you squat on the ground for a long time to eat, won't your leg feel numb when you stand up? Can you remember when the nerve is compressed for a long time, it becomes numb, though, but it doesn't necessarily hurt. When the brachial plexus nerve is compressed, the hand becomes numb, but it doesn't mean the hand will hurt.